This is a face of a guy who really wants to come inside, but the other dogs made a mess that I had to clean up before he comes inside. Specifically, it was that one. That one's just too chill and she's usually out, but this one's a troublemaker, always. Damn. Look at that definition on that boy. Look at that, look at that. Is that a quad or a hamstring or that hind leg definition with the vascularity? I gave him some pumpkin puree because I gave the other dogs pumpkin puree because some of that stuff on the floor would not digest very well, so pumpkin puree to make the medicine go down easier. And so they got pumpkin puree and Buddy got jealous, so I gave him some too. So I was talking about trying to make my food a little bit better, a little bit more easier to consume in the morning, because eggs and beef it's not even like missionary position, because at least at the end of missionary position you're satisfied, or at least half the parties are. But so someone suggested making tacos and burritos out of my beef, and it's cool, that would work. Or I tried that, but I didn't spice it right, and it did not fix my eggs, because taco eggs, chef kiss, delicious. But Seth Hendricks commented and DM'd me. He was like, hey, I got this recipe, you should try it, it's delicious. So you brown your beef, you throw in a bit of pasta sauce. I've got my homemade pasta sauce. It's cheaper to make it at home, and it's also better, less preservatives, less oils and stuff like that. Once that starts to simmer, you throw in your eggs, mix it up, and once the yolks, it starts to whiten, then you throw some cheese on there, Parmesan, and it's good. So ow, that's hot. Of course it's hot, dummy. But it's basically, it's covered, so it's in that, I put the eggs in there, their part, and I'm just waiting for, I can't actually see through that, so I won't be able to know when it starts to get white. But after that, you throw some cheese on it, mix it up, and he says it's delicious. He has it at least twice a week. So hopefully this will help me with my sanity with this meal, because you can only do missionary position so many times before you get bored. All right, boys, let's see the reveal. Hey, what's that? That's a handsome man right there. Let's see. Not entirely done yet, but we're getting there. I have my cheese ready. Being a good boy, okay? Okay. All right, boys, here's the final product. It actually smells like regular pasta with meat sauce. So I guess there's a concept, we're working with the idea that eggs are basically like noodles, if you think about it. Eggs are noodles. They also make egg noodles, but those aren't the noodles. So, I mean, you can almost replace any carb with eggs and it's better. So like if you make tacos but replace the tortilla with eggs, chef kiss, delicious. And I guess this is the Italian egg. I'm salivating. It's actually pretty. I'm excited, boys. I'm excited. Not bad. It's not bad. It's got a little bit of a grainy texture to it, but I think that's because I didn't make my beef fresh. It was frozen and thawed. So it's good. It's good. I would recommend you guys do it. It's pretty good. And then we've got our carbs for the day. We've got some jelly. That much jelly in grams. On a bagel. Because you don't want to start your day off without some carbs. So carbs. Buddy walk. Right, bud? Oh, okay. Buddy's mad because we did some programming today and didn't get distracted at all. And I'm totally not. What time is it? 6 hours behind on what I wanted to do today. So good job, me. It's technically a deload squat day, and I was like, oh, I got so much time. I'm not going to be squatting forever. Famous last words. We did have that quad tweak last week, which it was pretty much an indicator. Hey, if your head doesn't say you need a deload right now, your body's saying you need a deload right now. So I've been communicating with coach, and we it took about it wasn't a tear or anything. It was just a tweak, a pulled muscle or cramping, kind of that area of expertise going on, and it was my IT band and TFL. So we did some foam rolling. We supplemented with extra magnesium, extra hydration, and it took about 2 or 3 days to kind of loosen up, and we're good to go now. So now it's time to go train, be a big boy, do some squats, no squirts. We're only going up to 275. There's I don't want to jinx myself. There's no chance of me shitting myself with a 275 squat, but famous last words, boys. Doing 6 count eccentrics. It's gonna suck. It's gonna suck. It's gonna suck. Anyways, let's go, boys. All right, boys. Call me soft because I'm flaccid. That's not even a saying. That's just saying today was soft. So it's a deload squat day, right? So pretty much nothing of note it happened. So we started off with the goblet squat holds. Those are really good at stretching, and by the third one, I'm pretty much able to do that little Asian sit that everyone has. Oh, gosh darn it. Flip my nipples and call me soft, boys. We were flaccid today. It was a deload squat day. Nothing of note really happened. So we started off with goblet squat holds, and that one, it's like the first set sucks because you're so tight and everything. You hold it for like 10 to 15 seconds, and then by the third set, with like 60 seconds of rest in between singles, you're able to pretty much get into that Asian sit squat thing that everyone says is impressive. That for some reason, why is it Asian? Did the rest of all the other cultures just not like that anymore? I don't get it. Russians are good at it too, but Russia is kind of Asian too. 90% of Russia is in Asia. So it was a deload week, and what we had on program was 2x6. Oh yeah, you guys saw the program. 2x6, 6 count eccentric squats with no designated rest period. So I really didn't know how to warm up to this, and I was like, we want to deload in the materials that we compete in to simulate competition scenarios, right? So I put on the full kit, squat shoes, knee sleeves, belt, but I didn't latch the belt because I didn't feel like it. So I'm just hypocritical there. So I've been playing around with different warm-up kind of routines. So I didn't really know how to warm up to 275, so I took the bar. I realized I didn't do the goblet squats, so I did the goblet squats, and then I think I took the bar again. I don't remember if I did. And then we did the 2x6. So 6 count eccentric, doing 6 reps of 6 count eccentric is very... There's 36 numbers in your head, and I don't really... It's I remember back in high school, being in the band, the concert band being like 1 2 3 4 2 2 3 4 3 2 3 4. But when it's different when you're like 1 2 3 4 5 6, and you're like, what's the number I was on? It's not an emphasis. So I think I actually paused at the bottom a little bit too. So I was trying to keep track of how many counts the eccentrics were, but numbers are hard. So I kind of just was like, all right, the second set, I was like, all right, let's just go as slow as I don't want to say as slow as possible, but kind of like slow as I feel like. And I had a tick in my head where I was like, that is about 6. And then, but my toes on the second set were not in the position that they should have been, so it made my knees a little angry. But I did get a good stretch in the calves, a good stretch in the quads, so it was a productive day. And then we finished off with the they're supposed to be weighted sit-ups, but I elected to not put weight on because it's a deload. You don't want to accumulate too much fatigue. So after that, I got ready to leave, and I checked my Fitbit, and I was like, how many steps do I have? Because I took a shorter walk with Buddy because I wanted to go to the gym earlier than I did, and I didn't. So I took a shorter walk with Buddy, so I kind of shot myself in the foot. And also, we had less things to do at the gym, so we didn't get as many like passive steps. So we had to go back on the treadmill, and we walked on the treadmill for about 35-40 minutes. I did take a pee break at one point, and then we hit our 10,000 steps, and now we are on our way home. And that is, yeah, we've got dinner. I'm gonna throw a bunch of these videos together, post them. I'm probably not gonna do every single day, probably every other day, because my life is a little hectic right now. It's different. It's a different kind of hectic, because like you would think being unemployed you'd have all this time to yourself, but it gives you a lot of time to think, a lot of time to build up anxiety, and a lot of time to get depressed. And having you lose a bunch of time trying to center yourself and make sure you don't get overwhelmed, because you're constantly looking for, all right, I need to do this so that I can pay bills. I need to do this so I can pay bills. I need to do this so I don't rack up credit card debt. I need to do this. I need to do this. I need to make sure this bill's paid. I need a budget for this. I need to this. I need that. So a lot of things pile up. You get overwhelmed real easily. And life's all about finding ways to not get overwhelmed. And I do have a job. I'm just waiting on the start date. And the company that I'm working for is well known for being very, very slow. So I got all the paperwork in, and they're like, we'll get back to you with your start date. Like, they told me what my salary is going to be. They told me what my signing bonus is going to be. And they're like, all right, just hold tight. It took them a month to get that paperwork to me when they said it would take a week. So that being said, I feel like I'll probably start sometime in October, maybe December. So we're looking more and more like we should Uber Eats full time rather than trying to stay afloat until I have a new job. So having to lean a little more into that, possibly take on more clients for the powerlifting coaching, because that'll also help alleviate a lot of the pressures. Also, I have PayPal. I have my payments for that through PayPal, and I have PayPal automatically take the taxes out for that, whereas Uber Eats does not. So by doing Uber Eats and hoping that I'm going to have a job by the end of the year, I'm kind of shooting myself in the foot when it comes to taxes next year, because I am sinking, but not as fast as I could be. like I've gotten some advice like, stop doing the Uber Eats. You're just frustrating yourself and you're stressing yourself out. Just treat this unemployment like a vacation. I'm like, I do not have enough in my savings for that. No, sir. I would be out by now if I had not done that. So, we're pretty much home. Do I want to fiddlesticks? It is almost bedtime anyways. Get an early start to tomorrow. Yeah, I think I'm just going to cook dinner. Get an early start for tomorrow. Tomorrow is my full day of Uber Eats that I planned for myself. I have three of those. 3 full days where I aim for about $150, so I end up working about 12 hours. And it's all about knowing what to do and how to do it. And so that's the day I got tomorrow. So I'll meet you guys back with some I'm just parallel parking, don't worry about it. I'll flex on you hoes. I'll meet you guys with some food because I'm gonna eat and then go to sleep. We've got the bowl. What is in the bowl? We've got rice, eggs, a little bit of cheese, and beef. So the meal is supposed to be 400 grams of rice, 220 grams of 93.7 beef, and 70 grams of guacamole. Now, I keep forgetting to pick up guacamole, and I think I have to switch from guacamole to avocado because every time that I have, the past couple times that I've had the guacamole that I picked up, made my butthole burn whenever I poo-pooed. And those of you young kids out there who still enjoy your spicy Takis and all that stuff, eventually you'll be old enough that you'll understand, it might be tasty now, but it's going to make my butthole feel like hot lava later. And you're going to think a little differently because there's also indigestion to consider, and you'll have to think differently about the foods that you consume only for the sake of your own butthole. So I forgot my avocado, so I needed a different source of fats, so I elected to use eggs, which are also a source of protein, because I also missed a meal today, which was supposed to be 245 grams of chicken, 400 grams of rice. So I'm definitely low on my carbs. I'm a little low on my protein. So we're doing the best we can with what we've got. And that's this meal. Cheese just to tie it all together. It's also a source of fat, not really a source of protein, but cheese affects the brain like heroin. And I'm not going to be enjoying force feeding this entire meal down my gullet. And then we also have more carbs to eat later. 3 eggs, cooked up the rice. The rice, around 1 cup of dry rice equates to about a cup of, 400 grams of cooked rice, I've found. So I'm measuring the volume rather than the weight, which is something that you really shouldn't do. But I got annoyed with throwing away rice because I miss a meal, because I would have had to throw away a cup of rice today because I missed that chicken meal, and I don't like doing that. So usually when I cook up a meal, it's 2 cups of, or not, when I cook up my rice for the day, it's 2 cups of rice. So we're kind of, we're feeling a little better about the food that we've got here. We don't exactly know how much rice there is, but we also added a little bit of butter to, same thing as the cheese, trying to make it a little bit more tasty, to go down the gullet a little easier, because it takes about 15 minutes for your body to realize that it's eaten, and if it takes you longer than 15 minutes, then you're going to get full and you're not going to be able to finish your meal, and that is the bulking secret. Finish all your meals within 15 minutes, and the best way to do that, make it tasty. Second best way to do it is do it without distractions, but I'm not going to do that. What are you doing? Yeah. I got this to watch. And I haven't even played RuneScape in forever. It's just kind of like having a buddy in the room. Not Buddy the dog, but like a friend. Just talking to you, giving you messed up jokes and puns. I need more. Alright, so that's going to be it for the day. I can't fathom putting any more food in my body. It's supposed to have more carbs to spike the insulin response right before bed so you can get the IGF-1 in your system while you're sleeping when it's most used, whatever. But it's deload week. So I'm heading to bed. Like, comment, subscribe. Hi, Mom.